It's a very strange and difficult to navigate subject because there's so many studies. And there's a lot of studies that seem to point to the fact that ivermectin doesn't work well for people that have COVID.
Yeah, we've looked at all the studies, and there's over 100 studies on ivermectin, and I think they're on our website, on CHC's website. And then there were a series of studies, and this is what they always do. This is what they did with autism. They designed studies to fail. So they designed studies, and the way they designed them to fail is by giving people lethal doses of ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine. And in fact, in Brazil, the researchers were charged with homicide, and that was one of those. I forget whether it was called the Solidarity Study, but it was one of the studies that was commissioned by WHO, paid for by Bill Gates and his people, and that they were literally giving people 4 or 5 times the prescribed doses of ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine in order, and these were elderly people on their deathbeds, and a lot of them could not take that level of toxicity and died. And so then they were able to say, oh, it kills people. But it wasn't killing anybody they gave the prescribed doses to. And, and Gates knew what the prescribed dose was for hydroxychloroquine because his foundation gives it to hundreds of millions of people every year in Africa for malaria control. And so it wasn't, it's hard to say that it was a mistake that they were overdosing these people.
So it was a situation where you have the emergency use authorization, and that won't work if you have a medication that also works. And then you have this medication that also works that happens to be generic.
Yeah, that costs 5 cents a pill instead of $3,000 a dose like remdesivir.
Yeah.